So you guys requested a cherry tree update, and I will try to deliver. So exactly 1 year ago, I made the decision to get cherry trees. Cherry trees tend to need a high amount of chill
And it's
hours
breaking
to
bud.
grow and bud out successfully. So I took the risk and gambled and wanted to experiment with growing low chill cherry trees in South Florida. You can see how tiny they were. As soon as I planted them, they started budding out. So it definitely looked promising. Throughout the growing season, here you can even see a frog enjoying the cherry tree. I'd never encountered any real disease issue on the leaves, but I did notice some beetles were munching on the edges of the leaves during in the later rain season.
So you can see I have my 3 cherry trees in a line. I did the same bucket method for this one with the rocks around the base to prevent any soil from creating any rot issues. This is on a new rootstock called the Maxima 14. It works amazing on wet soils like I have here. I do have sandy soil. I don't know if you can tell there how sandy the soil gets here in South Florida, but that's generally the gist of it. This is a new one I got. This is the Minnie Royal. So you can see it's broken dormancy pretty early. The other ones have not broken dormancy yet. The squiggly growth on the top is the leaves that haven't fallen off yet, but you can see how dormant it is still. And I am on March 3rd. You can see the buds swelling up. I don't know if it's lack of sun exposure. As you can see, they are a little bit shaded in this area, but you can see how all the nodes are beginning to swell up perfectly to break dormancy. So I do expect it to break dormancy pretty soon. But the first one to break dormancy soon, although this is now in the shade during winter, it is March 3rd. You can see that the fruiting spurs are beginning to swell. That one is beginning to break dormancy. Hopefully the camera can zoom in. You can see a little bit white at the tip. So these fruiting spurs do look like they're going to break dormancy. Some more of the leaf spurs that are swelling perfectly, and likewise on this branch. But the squiggly growth, much like the pear trees, don't drop the leaves because it doesn't get that cold. And you can see more of the spurs, how they're beginning to swell. I don't water them too much in their containers, simply because that they're dormant and they're not soaking up any water. I know there's probably water pooled at the base of them, but when they're stressed, you'll see the leaves begin to droop, which has not been an issue at all. So this method has been worked perfectly, keeping them growing well throughout the whole season. So this is where it started last season. It was just a stick going all the way down as the main trunk, and within one growing season it has spread out. I didn't open center. I put these wires here, so I'm going to create an open center branching because there's no way I'm going to have to deal with a 30-foot high tree later on. So I'm going to start bending the branches down and training them to be bent down more. Likewise with this one, I'll be training it so I don't have to get a ladder and to pick the fruit. So you can see I have them on the south side. I definitely need to tie these. These are kind of annoying me now. And stake them to the ground. But altogether, this method has worked. I did put rocks, and for mulch, I did use pine bark. There is a certain type of mulch you do not want to put with cherry trees. But altogether, I'm simply well pleased. I'd love to put them in the ground here, but they will get ginormous. So altogether, no disease issue at all. I did have some pest beetles eating the leaves late season. These ginormous little beetles would come at night and start munching on the leaves. I did not spray them or anything. I just let them drop their leaves. But altogether, they're looking pretty well. So I do expect them to break dormancy soon. I know throughout the whole growing season we had at least 2 hurricanes that passed by. They were not affected at all. They tanked out like troopers. They were not affected at all. I was concerned about the water issue, being too much rain. We had like 4 days of non-stop rain. Even that 1 week we had 5 weeks of non-stop rain. It did not affect them at all. They handled it perfectly during the wet season. I did not have root rot, no issues whatsoever. They do like to have mostly dry roots, but they do like a good watering now and then again. When the leaves start to droop down, you'll know that they're water stressed. Here with this method, I've done beautifully. I did have to hand water them several times during the dry season, but altogether they've handled pretty well. Even the sprinklers hitting them have not been a problem. This is damage from bugs attacking the rims, but you can see how it leaves out from the top and starting out from the trunk as well. It's starting to leaf out and break dormancy. It does really well, no disease issue really. The only pest is I have a beetle that comes at night, a group of them, and they start munching on the edges of the leaves, which is super annoying. But you can see how the nodes are still swelling, and here as well how it's breaking dormancy. By May it's starting to break at dormancy quite well, especially here on the side. You can see that's starting to fill in better, and up there as well. I'll need to tie and bend these branches down more so this tree does not grow so large. You can see more buds forming. It did break dormancy quite late. Around April started waking up a bit, and you can see that's still a bit lacklustered, but altogether very well done. No disease issue. I don't have any root rot issue. No gummosis like you would find in other stone fruit trees. The bark's doing well, and likewise here as well. So I've never had any disease issues. I went through at least 2 hurricanes already. No problems whatsoever. So quite satisfied with the cherry trees. This is just an update. This bronzing is happening because a beetle keeps eating the edges. It has dieback, which is super annoying, but this is a recently planted one this year, and maybe by next year I will plant the trees in the ground so they can get bigger. But the rock technique worked. The soil is relatively dry but moist, so working out pretty well. I'm sure if you're in colder climates will break dormancy easier. I mean, these are cherry trees, but altogether they're waking up quite well, and by the time summer really kicks in, starts heating up, I'm sure this tree would break dormancy faster and start budding out more. Hope you enjoyed this small little update, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.